Hi, everybody. Welcome to Coffee in Hand. I'm your host, Erica Lamberto, and I'm excited to welcome you all to our first ever podcast featuring a very special guest, Carrie Byrne Putelo. She is the editor in chief and owner of Mohawk Valley Living. Carrie, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. You know, this is one of my favorite places, to the point where I think a lot of people know my favorite drink already, right?
Yes,
But
yep, absolutely.
I'm so happy to be here with you on your first episode and get to celebrate this moment for you as well.
Oh, thank you so much. And I want to start and get into a little bit of your history and
Yep.
how you got to where you are today. So I know you come from New York City,
Yes.
and I wanted to have you share a little bit about your experience there and how you got your start in the industry.
Great. I'd be happy to. I actually went to Rutgers University in New Jersey, and it was a pretty quick train ride into the city from Rutgers. I'm from New Jersey originally. So, the second semester of my senior year, I did an internship, and it was at Comedy Central, which was a lot of fun. It was pre-South Park in some of those days, but
Right.
still, a great place to be. I worked in the marketing department. One of the funniest things was one of the things I was researching was how to put Comedy Central on airplanes, which then was would have been a huge thing,
Yes.
on-demand TV, all of that. So that was something kind of in the initial stages in the 90s we were looking at doing.
Yes.
Um, and because of that internship, I had access to job postings for all of Time Warner Company, as Comedy Central was part of Time Warner. And there was a new magazine launching very close to the time I was graduating college called In Style Magazine.
Which I love.
You loved and love.
Style, yes.
Yes, it was a great magazine. And it was kind of a spinoff of People, which was interesting because it kind of had that celebrity aspect and then fashion and beauty and lifestyle and home and all that other stuff we love,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So the position was for a sales assistant job. And what that basically means is kind of like a toned down version of Devil Wears Prada because those were
Yes.
the editors and they were literally at Vogue. So it wasn't that bad, but grabbing coffee, grabbing laundry, going to get gifts for clients, and then also writing letters and things like that. So it was a great experience, a great learning experience, and really made me realize how much I love that kind of side of the media business, which was magazines. So after a year, I was living at home at that point in New Jersey with my parents. I decided I was going to move into the city. So I moved into an apartment with another girl that I had met. We lived on 90th and First. So Upper East Side, but kind of high up. So the subway rides were not that much fun.
Right.
Especially when you worked in Midtown on the West Side. But I kind of started to interview at other jobs and was ready to kind of take the next step. So I was interviewing for a coordinator position at a new magazine called Top Model, which was a French magazine. And I always tell the story. It's kind of funny. The publisher was French. So we'd go into a meeting to present the magazine to clients and, he'd say top model. And I'm like, okay, top model. Like you'd catch yourself saying it because it was kind of
And
funny.
also it sounds so fabulous saying it that way, right?
I'm like, oh, wow, right? So, yeah, exactly.
I'm fluent in French now.
I can say nothing.
Yes.
But it was
Fake it till you make it.
exactly. But the funny thing about that interview is when I went in for that job, interviewing for the coordinator position, I was interviewing with an associate publisher. And in the middle of the interview, he started asking me about photography. And I was like, okay, yeah, models get photographed. I don't know where, it's just kind of a weird things going on. I don't know what he's asking about, but I was answering the questions and going on. And then I said, so why are you asking me about photography? How does that play into this role at Top Model? And he said, you're here for American Photo. And I said, I'm here for Top Model for this coordinator position. He said, I thought you were here for the account manager spot at American Photo. And I said, well, I am now.
Right.
So yeah, let's go. And he just thought the interview went so great. He hired me for that position. So
Amazing.
yeah, it was
Right
it
on the
was
spot.
exciting. On the spot, 22 years old, account manager role, selling advertising space for actually American Photo, Popular Photography, and Top Model magazine.
Yes.
So I did that for a couple of years and then ended up in a bunch of different titles throughout my career until I got into management. I worked at Marie Claire, another fun one.
Yes.
Bon Appetit, which was also fun, although I was the food category manager there, and that was not fun when I had to go to like Bell& and Evans Chickens was a client,
Yes.
and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love the baby chicks," and then, the owner was like, "Let's go into this next section." I'm like, "We're good. I don't need to
Yes.
go," you know? But at that point, like, I had moved in the city. I was living in the 50s,
Mhm.
kind of like Sutton Place area, beautiful place to live, having just the time of my life, right? Like,
Yes.
entertaining clients and doing all that stuff. So, it was shortly after I met my husband, I moved back out to New Jersey and kind of, took a break from like the, out every other night type of lifestyle.
Which is normal in your 20s and
I was in my late 20s at that point and
yeah,
ready to kind of like
settle
settle
down.
down a little bit. So we moved to Hoboken, which is also a phenomenal place to live if you're a young person. But my career kind of took off from there. And I ended up in management at OK Magazine and ran that title and a couple other celebrity publications, launched OK TV, which is feels kind of very similar to what I'm doing right now, which
Right.
we'll talk about. But
Yes.
yeah, it kind of like took off from there. And OK was a lot of fun because it was a celebrity entertainment
Yes.
weekly and Grammys events. I was throwing Grammys events with Flo Rida, Jason Derulo, Lady Gaga, like a lot of like
Yes.
really cool stuff. We did Fashion Week,
Mhm.
which we did a Fashion Week every event every year. And So Sexy and, all different types of events, Oscars. So it was a lot of fun. And then wrapped up my career in the city at Tiger Beat, which kind of Tiger Beat, Teen Beat, a lot of people that think
Yes.
they're synonymous, but a teen magazine. And we had a social element. We were doing video and TikTok. At that point, it might have been Musically,
Right.
but that was just before I moved here. So about 9 years ago. So it was a lot of fun. So it was a
Yes.
great career there. And we came up here for a different pace of life, which I
Mhm.
think you have an understanding of because I feel like you did the
Absolutely.
same thing,
Yes,
right?
we did.
Yeah.
Because we came from Las Vegas, working in the industry there, and, Vegas, again, is a city that doesn't sleep. So,
Yep.
you constantly have events, event planning, you're doing advertising and billboards and magazines, and everything is planned so much farther in advance than people realize. It's like you're planning out for a year, sometimes 2 years later for these really big events, and it requires a lot of teamwork and hard work to get everything up and ready for the
I'm
masses.
with you. I get it. I've been to a lot of those
Yes.
events, which they're a lot of fun, but there's
Yes.
so much work involved. And it can, it can kind of take its toll, right, on
Yes.
your personal life and everything
Absolutely.
else. So,
And what I was gonna say too, just to touch on your experience in the magazine industry is when you were working there, this is like pre-Instagram, like pre-TikTok. So it's
yep,
like everyone that's where you got all of your news, all of your celebrity
everything.
gossip. People like lived and died by the tabloids.
Yeah.
And that's why too, a lot of celebrities, it's like that's where all of their whatever they were going through in their life was featured, where now, they have more control over their image and,
But they
you
didn't
know
before, you're right, and it
Yes.
was how we presented it, and I did love
Yeah.
the fact that OK had a softer approach
Right.
because I did work at Star Magazine for a little bit. My company also owned National Enquirer, but OK was really about, like, the fashion, the beauty, the lifestyle element, and celebrating celebrity versus, "We're gonna
Tearing them
get you."
down.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of that, so I love the fact that OK really it was about building them up, creating relationships, things like that. I thought, I loved it, and I think it was a lot of fun for a lot of them because even the events and stuff, like, they got their red carpet moments, and those are where the pictures ended up in other magazines too. But it was a great experience. But yes, a very different time. I mean,
Yes.
I was in the business when the internet launched and we started using it for different things. I mean, it was a very different world.
Yes.
That's for sure.
But I know it's the hustle and bustle, like the busyness of working in the city. And
Yep.
then it's like when you get to that point in your life where, you're looking to start a family and you do start a family and, you still want to move up and,
Mhm.
continue growing in your career, but it's just a different type of growth because you have other people you're considering, right? And that and the late nights and
Yeah.
the constant, it's just so busy in all the events. You have to take a step back and say, in the long run, is this what's best for my family? And that's where the transition to, moving maybe out of a bigger city into a smaller town is more appealing
Mhm.
because, for us, that was a big factor in coming back here is we, wanted to not only like launch our own business and kind of create our own atmosphere
Mhm.
and business, but also for our family, it's a better fit for us.
I think for you guys, you benefited from doing it earlier. I mean, I remember one business trip where I went to LA. And I think I had a 6-day business trip in LA
Mhm.
event and, then had to go to Vegas for another event, like a big jewelry show event with Levian. And we were bringing one of the Hills housewives to the event
Yes.
as like, because we would basically like work with celebrities and then like bring them to an event of one of our clients.
Do
And
you
then we did that
remember
for,
which one, which
it
housewife it
was
was?
Lisa Rinna,
Lisa, oh
and
my
we brought her
god.
to a Levian event.
So
Yeah.
fun fact, I lived in Beverly Hills. So that was I worked in Beverly Hills. That was my first
Yeah.
ever job was I worked for the Oscars. And I was working in Beverly Hills. And
Love
that
it.
was also the year that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills came out.
Yep.
And so of course I had to tune in because I was, living and working in the area. And of
All right.
course she's like one of the main
So
stars.
you're
So
gonna laugh at this one, but when I was at Star Magazine, my boss at the time got a call saying, "Carrie, do you want to be on the Housewives of New Jersey? They're starting a new one."
oh my
And I
god.
was like, "What? What are you talking about?" Like, I mean, it wasn't even like a blip on the radar. She's like,
Right.
"Yeah, Bravo called me. They're looking for people." And I'm like, "No." And now I'm like, "Oh, I should have done it."
Yeah, you're
It
like,
was
I should
really
have,
fun.
right?
I'm not Italian enough, I think, for the cast they ended up with.
No, I was gonna
I'm like
say
little Irish girl, but yeah, that was a big part of, like, what we did and talked about was a lot of the Real Housewives stuff, so it was a lot of fun.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was that business trip, going to LA, then going to Vegas, then going back to LA. I think I was gone for 9 days,
Oh, yeah.
and my daughter was 3 at the time, my son was 6, and she got on the phone because someone called me and started crying and was like, "Mommy, when are you coming home?" Like, and it was just one of those, like, things. I mean, she just turned 20 last week. Like,
Yeah.
I still remember, right? So, like, there's so many moments I feel like I missed things or couldn't engage fully because I was
Right.
consumed with my job that, in a lot of ways for me, coming up here when my kids were 10 and 13 was that time to say, all right, now I'm in, right?
Right.
And I took that time when we got here for the past 8 years to really focus on them and their school and their activities and all of that and put my career on the back burner. And I did some consulting and I did some different jobs, but nothing really that like kind of, was a driver for me in terms of something I loved doing.
Yeah.
And listen, I've done amazing things when I'm here and things that have been very fulfilling and,
Mhm.
helping kids get into college and helping them craft their applications and stuff like that. Immensely fulfilling, but in a different way, right,
Yes.
than what I'm doing now because this is what I've always loved.
Yes.
So,
And I think it's true that when you are a wife and a mom and also have your career, you're always looking for that perfect balance.
mhm,
And it doesn't fully exist. There's never a way to, there's not a perfect time to do anything. There's not a perfect
no,
balance, like work life balance. It's never going to be fully. But I think when you have something that's your own and you're able to kind of have more
yeah,
control over that, um, you know, leading you into your next step.
yeah, and it's a little easier for me now. I say this is crazy because I don't feel this old to say I'm an empty nester, but I'm
Yes.
kind of an empty nester. My son is home on his gap year between, college and hopefully med school,
Mhm.
and my daughter is in an apartment. So, yeah, I'm kind of an empty
Yeah.
nester, right?
You're like, how
Like,
because it feels like yesterday that your kids are born.
I
It's the
can't
wildest thing as a
even.
parent. You try to explain to people, time flies so fast,
Mhm.
and I know my children are much younger than yours, but it's just the weirdest feeling. So you, like, look at them and you're like, "You were just born.
Yeah.
Like, you were what happened?
What happened?
Where'd my baby
Yeah,
go?
I
What's
say
going
that
on?
I
I
say
don't
that to my
understand."
23-year-old who's 6 feet tall,
Mhm.
It's like, "What happened here? Like, how did
Yes.
this happen this quickly?" And you get those flashback pictures on Facebook or whatever, and you're like, "Oh."
I know.
But, they're all great stages, right? So for
Mhm.
me, it's like enjoy all of them. Somebody
Yes.
gave me the best advice at my wedding. They said, at your wedding, you and your husband step back, go into a place like far in the room, like on the outskirts,
Yes.
basically, and take it all in. And they said, we're like, you're not near anyone and no one can talk to you and just take it all in. And we did that. And I'll tell you, that is what I remember most about my wedding day.
Mhm.
Being back and just looking and kind of surveying the whole scene and taking it in, right?
Yes.
So, like, take those moments with your family, right? It's like all of those moments of like the little things and how quickly it goes and how easy it is to get frustrated or lose your patience.
Right.
Try to take some of the moments in.
Yeah, it's like trying to freeze time in, like, a
Yes.
little memory screenshot, you know?
I did have a moment probably 3 days ago where I said to myself, my son is home for this year and then he goes to med school and then he'll be in residency. And then he will probably have a place of his own with his future wife and all that. And I'm like, he's never going to be here again, like long term. So, and again, it's easy to get caught up in everything we're doing, but
Yes.
try and like be present in those moments.
Yes. And I think definitely always making family a priority, even with the demands of
A hundred
work, your
percent.
business, and
Yes.
it's just
And bring them
yeah.
along when you can.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
So, like,
Include
we were
them
talking
in
about
what
that.
you're doing.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
having your kids here, or, like,
Yes.
I went to the MMRI golf tournament, the
Mhm.
after party, and I brought my son with me.
Yeah,
I'm like, "You know what? Like,
you can
experiences
include
with me."
them.
Yes. So, I think that stuff's important too.
Yeah. And I wanna get into so obviously, I introduced you
Yes.
as the owner of Mohawk Valley Living.
Yes.
So I wanna get into what inspired you to take that on, take
Yeah.
that over. I think you've done a phenomenal job with
Thank
the
you.
magazine, and so I just wanna get more of an inside
Yeah.
look into
So, one of the funniest things I'll tell you when taking it over is, and I would say, like, I'm really now in my groove. It's been
Mhm,
6 months of kind of packaging this how I want it to be. But what's so interesting is when I moved here 8 years ago,
mhm.
I didn't know where anything was. I didn't know anything, a lot of stuff. And even after 8 years, I'm learning stuff by doing this
Oh, yeah.
magazine. Okay? I'm learning like, wait, there's like a band playing in numerous places every single Fridays and Saturday
Mhm,
night. The Adirondack Railroad, whether it's you're going in the summer or you're doing, the Santa, like
mhm.
thing. I mean, there's so many different things to do here. And I do think a lot of people who've been here their whole lives take it for granted.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's also, like, not only is there, amazing stuff to do, but, the family structure and just the natural giving of the community and all of these things rolled into one. To me, it was how do we highlight that?
Mhm.
Um, and I do think it's an interesting perspective coming from outside the area and people that have lived here their whole lives. They're like, "Why would you move here?" I had people ask me that question.
Yes.
"Why would you move here?"
Oh,
And
and
I'm
I
like,
we
"You
got
did
we got
too.
the
You
same
get it all
thing.
the time." They're like, "You're
Oh,
in Vegas. Why would you
yes.
move here?"
Well, also people thought I was from Vegas, like, and
It's a little bit different
I was
there.
like, "Well, let me let me
Yeah.
correct you."
No,
And, like, I grew up in Michigan, so 'cause everyone would be like, "Oh my gosh, you're from Vegas. You must be, like, shocked by the change in weather and scenery," and I'm like, I know that probably seems like a very major jump from such a big city to a small town, but I was like, just to just to correct that. I'm like, I grew up in Michigan. I'm like, the weather, we had the 4 seasons just like we do here,
If anything, a little
and
worse probably in
oh,
winter.
yes, yes. So I'm like, Don't worry, I promise you," I'm like, "I'm very experienced with all the seasons,
Mhm.
and I'm very comfortable, like, with a small town living. I
Yeah.
actually prefer it." So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same thing for me, and it's also like a perspective is like, you don't know how good you have it if you haven't left, right? And listen, we had an amazing life in New Jersey. We had an incredible group, like, of friends. Um, I always joke the parties were at our house. Like, everyone would always come to our house on the weekends and an incredible network of friends. We didn't have family though, living down there, and we have family up here. So that's been amazing. But it's just a different pace of life.
Mhm.
I've said this before because it's one of those things that shocked me. There's no traffic.
The no traffic is so
Oh,
nice.
except for Christmas Eve on Commercial Drive.
Right?
That is the only time I'm like, come on.
Why is
But
everyone shopping at the same time?
I know,
You
I don't get it. But
know?
I mean, to even complain about that seems insane.
Yes.
Um, but literally there's no traffic there,
Mhm.
it's like even driving through the country roads, I'm always scared of hitting a deer, but like, you know what I mean?
Even in this area, there's deer everywhere.
I know, in our backyard even, which I kinda love looking at
Yes.
them, but
Oh, yeah,
as long
me
as I don't
too.
hit them.
Right, yes, as long as you don't jump in front of my vehicle, we are
Exactly,
A-okay.
exactly. But it's just such a nice life, and it's a nice place to bring kids up, and there's so many things to do. I mean,
Yes.
you can ski 20 minutes away, right? There's a lake, like half hour away. Like there's so many different opportunities, even in New Jersey, because we were in northern New Jersey, it was 2 hours to get to the beach. So I don't know. I really loved our time here. And for me, going back to this, it was all about showcasing all of the amazing things, the amazing people, this fall issue. I talked about all of the family farms. I mean, farming is a huge industry in this community that let's highlight those people, right? And all the amazing things we can do for autumn and, kind of the pumpkin stuff and the apples. And in October, we actually have a cider and donut tour. Rowan Destino and I did that after our ice
Oh
cream.
my god. That's gonna be I can't wait to see that one.
It's a good one. But it really is for me kind of, and I do say it's a labor of love because it is definitely a labor of love. My heart and soul is poured into this every single month.
I do think that shows.
Thank
And
you.
touching on, I'm not from the area,
Mhm.
and I've lived here now, for 5 years, and I feel like this is something I find helpful because I am
Yep.
not familiar with all there is that to offer in the area, and I feel like it's such a nice reference to have.
And even with the kids, like
Mhm.
stuff to do with the kids, right? Like
Absolutely.
different events at the Energy Zone or Children's
And my kids
Museum.
love it there.
They do.
Oh, they love it
Energy
there.
Zone?
Yes, they
I love
love
that.
taking, like, the little pictures, and then you can put the
Yes, yes.
hats
They
on
have
top.
a big Halloween event.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, it'll be featured in
Oh,
October. So you'll
great.
get to
Well,
see
I'll
it.
have to take them 'cause
Yeah.
they will love it.
It's so funny when I started the magazine, I did one page of
Mm.
entertainment, but there's so many things to do, I'm up to 2. So I have one page that's just the music scene because 'cause I'm, like, all about, like, concerts, I mean, turning
Mhm.
stuff, but everywhere there's a band playing at Babes, and then the other page of entertainment's kinda like everything else.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun, though, but really, it's been a labor of love trying to really package everything great about the Mohawk Valley. 6 counties, it's a huge undertaking just in terms of trying to know what's
Oh,
going on in all
yeah.
those counties, but really packaging it in a way that readers and people in the community who've been here even their whole lives, right,
Mhm.
can learn something new.
Yes. And anything new or exciting that's coming to Mohawk Valley Living that you
Some
want to share?
Yeah, something very exciting. So I actually yesterday just filmed my first TV segment.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. So, Mohawk Valley Living TV actually has existed for years prior to even the magazine, but it's been in reruns for several years, and I am bringing it back. It's going to be a little bit of a different format. We will have a Mohawk Valley Living Room, which will be my set. Yes, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And then I'll have different segments where I go out into the community and do different things. So
Mhm.
the first segment I actually filmed was at North Star Orchards. And Roanne and I were doing our cider and donut tour, which was very tasty.
Oh,
I will
yes.
tell you that. It was really good. And we're already queuing up, like, all right, what are we doing in January? Because we're going to make it a quarterly thing. So it'll
Mhm.
be fun. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun and I'm ready to get going on TV. I'm hoping that maybe we can do a segment here.
I think that could be arranged.
All
I
right.
feel
I'm
like
sure
that
there's
would
stuff
be
I can learn.
yes, learning how to pull a shot of espresso,
I'm in.
the
I've
whole
never done it before.
process. Yes.
I've always wanted one of those machines at home, but I didn't have an extra 20 grand to blow. So,
It requires a
learning
little
how to
bit of technique and finesse, and it'll
I'm
be
ready to learn.
yes,
I know you're supposed
fabulous.
to hit it on the counter for some reason,
Yeah,
but
it's called tamping.
yes, that.
Yes, it's we have a step-by-step guide we can walk
All
you through
right.
on how to get that perfect shot of
Is it gonna
espresso.
taste this good?
It'll taste probably even better because you'll be
Oh,
making it.
Bryce, I don't know about that. No, I'm very excited to do that. So let's definitely do a segment for the TV show. It's going to be on Sunday mornings and Sunday evenings, one slot on FXV and the other on KTV. So,
Perfect.
and Facebook and YouTube, and you'll see it everywhere else.
I know because we have to incorporate social media with everything
Into
now.
everything we do.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
And I know obviously we discussed how you came from New York City
Mhm.
here to New Hartford. So, how do you like the big city versus small town living? Is there anything you miss about the city at all?
Shopping. You know
You're
what?
like,
It's
I
so
go
funny.
back for the
I
shopping.
know there's so many different things. Like, I love Broadway. Well, I don't miss Broadway because I got Broadway. I've got Broadway unit here, and I actually, funny enough, this past spring, um, I had never seen Dear Evan Hansen, and it was one I always wanted to see on Broadway, and then it was here. So my daughter and I went. So for me, that's not even something I truly miss. I mean,
Mhm.
if there's really one thing I miss about being down there, it's the people that I had
Right.
close relationships with, but I still stay in contact with them. And that is, again, one of the best things about social media, in my opinion, is that
Yes.
we constantly feel like we're in each other's lives. And when we go back down, we visit them. And we have one group of friends who have a house in Big Moose Lake. So we see them
Oh,
often,
very
like
nice.
just because they're up here as well. So, yeah, I would say really, which I guess is a good thing if I just miss the people.
Yes.
That's like a pretty good sign that this was the right move,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
What about you? What do you miss?
I feel like the thing I miss the most is the dining.
Oh, yeah.
So, because you have access to every famous chef has a restaurant in Vegas.
Yeah,
And I will say, not to say though, we do have really amazing restaurants here
we
in
do.
Oneida County. But I do miss, and
There's
it's
no Din Tai
open.
Fung.
It's open 24 hours, like, everything's open
Yes.
24/7, so that was obviously nice, like, the convenience of
Yeah.
being able to no matter what time if you needed something or, sometimes as a parent, stuff comes up and you're like, "Oh my gosh," and
See, now
you
you're
have
making me think of
access to
something
get.
I miss, being
Oh,
able to
yeah.
get dinner at 10 o'clock at night
Yes,
or whatever,
yes.
you know what I mean, later where, like, stuff is always open.
Right.
But I will tell you my Monday night thing has actually been very difficult, but Aquavino,
Mhm.
always open. Like,
Oh,
you
great.
can yeah, like a Monday night when everything else is closed, I'm like,
Yes.
"Let's go to Aquavino because
Yeah.
Monday night is, like, the last night I wanna cook. I
Right.
don't wanna cook on
Yeah.
Mondays.
You're like,
I'm, like, recovering
"Not
from
for
the
me."
weekend, and the work just started, and I'm like, oops."
Oh, yeah.
I was making a point there.
Yes, we
Um,
really got it on that
yeah.
one. You're like, "Just to
As we
be
just
clear."
made everyone deaf, but
Yes.
yeah, okay, good. But yeah, I will say the food. Oh, now you got me thinking about all the
I
food.
know.
But I do kind of enjoy it when I go down to the city. It's kind of a treat. And you know what
It gives you something to look forward to,
yes,
right?
what
So.
I don't miss are the prices for the food.
Oh, that is very
Because you go
true.
to one of those great restaurants
Yes.
and you're walking out 3 people later, $500.
Oh,
Like,
yes. Food and
ridiculous.
drink prices are
Yeah.
very, very
So we
high.
don't miss it that much.
Mhm.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. I'm with you.
What is your favorite thing to do when you're not working? Just to get off the topic of careers and work. Do
Yes.
you have, like, a
So it
go-to hobby?
probably depends on the season
Mhm.
because my favorite thing to do in the summer is to either sit by the pool or swim in the pool or just like be outside and enjoy the outdoors and the peacefulness of that and the water and that type of thing. I'm the same way with lakes. Like I absolutely love lakes.
Yes. It's
Um,
very peaceful being by the water.
yeah.
And also, I feel like too with the seasons here, we obviously get, especially last winter was a very severe
Yes.
winter. So
Let's not
when you
repeat
do
that.
have sunshine and you can, just bask in
Yeah.
that, I feel like we appreciate that more,
Yeah.
right? Especially after like going through a really rough winter. We're like, give us all the sunshine.
Yes. The one thing I miss because now that my kids are out of high school is I don't have any sports to go to. So when one of my friends has a kid in a little league game or something, I'm like, I'll come. And they're like, yeah, sure. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Right. Cause
Yep.
I'm like, I don't have that. But I would say the only other thing that's actually very funny is like and this is from being at OK and celebrity weeklies and everything, my obsession with reality TV, whether it's Housewives and everything else. Like
Mhm.
I've been so busy. I am like, backlogged on my reality TV.
Yes.
So maybe if there's like one day where I have like 12 hours and no one's home and I don't have to engage with anyone, I would watch TV all day.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I need
Absolutely.
to catch up on my Real Housewives drama. So
Yes.
that'd be about it.
Yeah.
What
Thanks.
about you? What's your
Oh,
it's all kids stuff.
yes. Well, yes, obviously my kids, they don't the activity level right now isn't we're not too overbooked. My daughter really just does piano and dance. But for me, obviously, like spending quality time with my kids, if I can slow down, take them to the park, or I love going to the movies, like, actually going to the movie theater. That whole experience for me is if I have the opportunity to do it.
Mhm.
Now with my kids, I don't get to go unless it's a kids movie, but I will take it because it's
Yep,
still being able to experience that with them, going, getting the popcorn and
I'm with
everything, and
you.
just being able to sit. I love doing that. I love being able to like take a time out, go for a walk,
Mhm.
or being outside in nature is always good, right?
Yes,
Like not being indoors
definitely.
all day.
Yeah,
But usually a bike ride with my kids, just walking as they ride their bikes.
nice.
Any chance you get to slow down a little bit,
It's needed.
it is needed.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And before I let you go, I want you to tell everyone where they can find Mohawk Valley Living, where you're at online, all
Yes.
that good stuff.
All right. So, my favorite place for you to pick up the magazine is at Calabria, New Hartford.
Yes.
You
Thank
can
you.
always find it here, and Erica's great about telling me if we're low on stock,
Yes,
and I
I try. I try my best.
yeah, Hannaford and Washington Mills, all the major grocery stores, and that's really across the Mohawk Valley. We're in most places. If we are not there, let me know. You can always reach out to me at press@mohawkvalleyliving.com. And we also have a website, mohawkvalleyliving.com, that gives a complete listing of everywhere you can get the magazine. So that's been great as well. And the website also offers a calendar of events. So even beyond what you see in the magazine, and the calendar in the front and entertainment, all of that is online,
Mhm.
on our online calendar. So that's another thing for people. If you have events you're looking to submit or, want people to know about, let me know. We'll put it on our calendar and make sure, people have access to that information as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you joining me. And one question I'm going to ask all of my guests
Yep.
before I sign off here is what is your go-to coffee drink?
Okay. So can I give two?
Of
Because
course.
it was my iced white chocolate mocha latte.
Yes.
But then somebody introduced me to the combination of hazelnut and Hawaiian salted caramel,
Mhm.
and you did give me the Brevia that one day, but I was like,
Yes.
"Okay, I'm literally drinking delicious milk." So I've done it with a latte. So I come
Yes.
in, and if I'm trying to, like, be good, right,
Mhm.
I do, an iced latte with 1 shot of Hawaiian salted caramel and 1 shot of hazelnut. I think I'd prefer 2 shots of the caramel and 1 of hazelnut.
Yeah.
It
You
makes it
can
feel
always
better.
do whatever
Yeah.
ratio is. Yeah,
That's
you
what's
gotta
so
find that, like,
great.
perfect ratio. So we're
Yes.
we're very big here. We have, like, a whole we call it our customer customized section,
Yep.
and we really do cater to whatever is we want it your drink your way. So whatever your preference is, we want you to walk out and have your drink perfect for you.
Thank you.
So,
I always
yeah.
love that, but I also always wonder, like, how many are in a normal drink? How many shots? In my
In
white
the
chocolate
regular
mocha.
size?
Yeah.
Yes, so it's a double shot of espresso if it's a regular size.
And then how many shots of flavoring if I did white chocolate
So
mocha?
if you well, the sauces are different than
Okay.
the syrup.
Oh,
So the sauce ratio is gonna be different from the
okay.
syrups, but if you have a regular size, it's just gonna be 1 pump
Okay.
of
So
the syrup
we're gonna
or
get into
sauce,
this
excuse me.
when I come in and you teach me how to make
Yes,
the
yeah,
latte.
yes.
So now I have to figure out which one I have to make because I also think I need to come back this week. How long are the Gilmore Girls here through? Like those
So,
specials?
yeah, so we have a special, Gilmore Girls menu.
Mhm.
It's called A Taste of Stars Hollow, and we are going to be featuring that menu until Thanksgiving.
Oh, so it's gonna be here for a while.
So
All
we're
right,
gonna
so I
have
could
it
try that
because
out.
Gilmore Girls is very, like, fall. I
Yeah.
feel like nostalgia, like, you
Okay.
wanna, like, rewatch the series
Yeah.
this time of year. So we wanna have it around for a minute.
I
And
love
people have
it.
really been enjoying the drinks too, so,
Alright, so that's my
yeah.
next order. I know I thought about it today, but I'm like, I gotta go with the one I love and get all the time. So I've got my white chocolate mocha today. So thank
Perfect.
you.
Yes, I know, and I just have my cold brew with hazelnut and cream. So,
Sounds good to me.
yes, always with a coffee in hand here.
Yes, definitely
Yes,
coffee in hand.
yes. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you everyone for listening. We'll catch you next month.